Welcome to the Laugh to Learn podcast. What's going on, everyone? This is episode 23, your weekly source for a comedic spin on all the goings-on in the world. I come to you from the Great White North every Tuesday evening, Eastern Standard Time, fresh for download to listen to at work on Wednesday morning for everyone around the world. And as always, the podcast comes to you completely ad-free, and all that I ask is you subscribe on any podcasting platform or over on YouTube, and tell your friends about me either in person or with a share over on social media. We have our first guest episode, trying something new, trying to sit down with a good friend of mine, someone who I've talked about on the show, a co-founder, someone who I used to do a podcast with. He helps me out a whole lot with this show, with different audio things. There was a whole 5 minutes before the podcast started where I couldn't figure out how to record two microphones. And he was there because he was like, yo, you're an idiot. I'll show you how to do it. And he did. That is Matej Perisa. You can find his social media information down below in the link to this video. And you can find him on, I think it's Fight Pass. Because I always want to say Fight Network, but that's the UFC one. But I think his fight is on Fight Pass. But either way, we talk about his attempt, at least, at a career in fighting. He's an amateur fighter currently in Ontario. We talk a whole lot about the different politics going on in the world right now, all the craziness going on in the world right now. And yeah, we just shot the shit for a little while. So when we come back next week, I'm going to have gone through anything that you guys have to say. Let me know what you think about it. And without any further ado, because I don't really know what else to add, this is the Laugh to Learn podcast with Matej Perisa. Hey, check it out. It's the Laugh to Learn podcast. So, Matej.
Yes, sir.
How do you spell your name?
Why? Why are you starting with the awkward stuff?
Because you have a weird... What's it like growing up with a name that most people, although they should be able to, can't pronounce?
Well, the problem with it is that it's confusing to Canadian speakers because it ends with a J. And so in English, J makes a J sound.
Yeah, but...
So they look at it and go, that doesn't sound right. So it was always like the attendance roll call list. They'd get to my name, and I would just always know it's me. You know, I'd raise my hand and say, yeah, present, even though they hadn't said anything.
Did it bother you?
I would be lying if I said I hadn't thought about, like, Jesus Christ, why can't I just have, like, a normal last name? Although now I don't mind it so much.
But as an adult, it's fine.
As an adult, it's fine.
Have you had anyone recently?
Oh, all the time. I mean, it's work, right? Like, so, like, I send people an email and they call me, and they're like, hi, looking for...
How long do they think about it before they pick up the phone and just stare at your name written down?
Man, I guarantee, like, most people don't even fucking realize until the phone is ringing and they're, like, panic, you know? Like, oh, shit, like, fuck,
what
am I going to say?
No,
what
there's no
say?
way. Before they dial the number... I bet you people like ask the people around them. They're like,
yeah, maybe.
How the fuck do you pronounce this guy's name?
With the amount of times people get it wrong, maybe not. I don't know. You know what I do? Because I like find weird ass names all the time in my system that I'm calling, and I'm like, I have no clue how to pronounce this.
Do you look them up?
Yeah, I do. I'll like pull up like how to pronounce, and then like put the name in, and then it's like, oh, from like an Indian origin, and then there's like this whole thing. But then it gets screwy when you find ones that have like multiple pronunciations depending on like where they're from.
How do you pick?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I just stare at it and it's like shit.
How often does that happen though? Is that a thing?
It's it's pretty common. And honestly, like half the names aren't even in the internet apparently. Like when you're trying to find like audio of how to pronounce it, not there, which is kind of stupid.
So it's just like.
But so what I do is I just call it. It's like, hey, it's Matej from Technologies. How you doing? And I just like totally bypass the name. Hey, I saw you downloaded some stuff. I don't even check if it's the right person. You know what I mean? Like, who are you looking for? It's like, oh, you know, you downloaded it, didn't you?
So usually it's just you make do.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the name and you're like,
I'm not gonna even attempt that.
Okay,
that's usually what happens. Especially because like half the time I don't feel like looking it up too. Like that's also a problem.
Do you ever ask people at work like, how do you think?
Oh, dude, some of them are bad. Like, well, there's ones that sound bad too, like pronounced correctly. You know what I mean? And then it's hard to do with a straight face. Like there's one guy's name's Emil, and it's like Emil with an M. So it's like, okay, not so bad, but it's just like,
or A-L?
It's like Emil. It's like Emil, but without the E. So it's just Emil.
Yeah, I would not have gone there.
It's like, do I say that?
It's almost all the wrong letters.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like it's, I don't know.
It should be like Emil.
Yeah, for 100%.
Or something like Emily or something is kind of what it's almost.
Pretty much.
Then Emil.
Yeah,
I would have never got that.
And then it's
Did he have to? This guy have to tell you?
No,
that?
yeah, he's like, hey, it's Emil calling, and I was like, Jesus, that's how you say it. That's a rough one.
So, this is the first What?
There's also another one.
What is it?
But it's a first and last name that makes it funny. So like, I don't want to like put this guy on the spot here.
Okay.
But,
we shouldn't say.
But maybe we should. His name's. So it's Camille. Okay. Without the E, so it's Kamil. So Camel.
Camel.
Yeah, and his last name is K-O-K.
Camel cock.
Camel cock. It is Camille cock, but it's just way funnier when you just read it. It says camel cock. And it's like, man, I am so sorry. I'm sorry.
K-O-K. Oh, that's like a Thai last name.
I don't even know.
It's gotta be Thai.
I don't know, but I look at it and I go, Jesus. Do I go with Mr. Cock or just Camel? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
hello, I'm looking for. Like, that's a good practical joke.
Like, there's
Mr. Cock there.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no
Mr.
winning.
Cock.
You know? Or if you're like, hey, I'm looking for Camille, it's like, which one? It's like, you're gonna make me go there, lady?
No way.
Come on.
You have to say his last name every time you call?
No. He's not my client. He's actually one of my colleagues' clients. So luckily, I don't have to deal with it. But you know, I've seen it, and it's like, geez. Well, I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen his name. You know what I'm saying?
There's some names out there that I'm like, I thought my name was bad growing up because of my last name, and I still do. I've been actually thinking about like some sort of stage name because I'm like, how the fuck? No one is gonna know how to pronounce my name, and I don't have Bruce Buffer introducing me.
They can say it like the English way, like Paveo. Oh, so hard.
But no one pronounces it like that.
But how else would you pronounce it?
They go Pavan.
Dude, that was like
and then
Mr.
They trail off at the end.
So my grade 10 math teacher, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah, I was there.
He just gave up on my name.
I know.
Like the whole year, he like just kind of trail off every day for attendance. Like I've talked to him like 100 times. He's just go mad. It just kind of end, you know. Like he hit the T and then there was like no more letters.
He just cuts it off.
It's like, I'm gonna keep
but
it right
wasn't
there.
like he called you Matt. He was like Matt, and he always
it just trailed off
into like a.
It was like Matt. Matt.
And then he just look right at you and be like, okay.
Yep, and like, yeah, that's me.
He should have just skipped you.
He should have.
He should have just got to a point where he was like, okay, we're just gonna.
I mean, like, honestly.
Pull that closer to your face.
Okay, Rogan.
There you go.
Honestly, though, like.
You can pivot it around.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know, but honestly, like, we weren't in school that long ago. They should have had some
We were in school that long
I feel like they should have, like, come on, some sort of digital attendance system. Like, let's go.
You realize we graduated fucking 8 years ago, right? 7 years ago. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah,
man.
2012, yeah. Okay.
June 2012.
But come on, 2012, they definitely had some sort of digital attendance. They're just too cheap.
Well, you're talking about 2010 when we were in grade 10, like 09, 10.
That's fair. Yeah,
I'm sure there was something.
Sometimes I take for granted like how quickly technology advances.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, if you think about it, the iPhone came out when we were in grade 9.
The first one?
Yeah,
No
December
shit.
of grade 9. Yeah. Before that, it was just the BlackBerry, and even still, like I only knew 2 people in high school in grade 9 with an iPhone.
Yeah.
Everyone had a BlackBerry.
Dude, I had like I had like a flip phone.
What was your first phone? How old were you?
It was either grade 7 or grade 8. My mom got it for emergencies, you know, as they always do.
That's early.
As they always do.
That's early.
Yeah, but I couldn't make calls or text people. It was literally just to call her in case of emergency. So I used it as like a little clock, and that's it.
What kind of phone was it?
It was I don't know, I think it was like an LG, just like a flip phone.
Like
I never had like
not
that.
a Razor.
No,
Before that?
no. I wasn't that cool. But I always wanted one, and I never got one. And then after that, I broke that paintballing because it was in my back pocket. And I was doing some sliding
That's
shit,
classic.
like, you know what I mean. And then after that one, I got I think another LG, but it was like the slide out flip phones that you had to like slide out sideways, and you like turn it around, you can type on it. And then I lost that one skiing.
Yeah, because we had the same phone.
Yeah.
Because that was the second.
No,
the first phone I got,
mine was more boxy. It was
no,
it was
because
the same kind.
I had the LG Kibo, which is the one that flipped up and had a keyboard, and then that broke, and then I got the same one as you, the one that slid sideways.
Yeah, those are sweet.
And flipped.
I lost that one skiing. I went to put it in my
I
inside
remember.
pocket as I was going down the hill, and I just I guess missed the pocket, and
Into the snow.
that's all she wrote.
That's the problem with living in Canada. Shit gets lost in the snow.
No kidding.
Fucking phones and babies. True story.
Babies.
Not my baby. Yeah. Didn't you hear? This was maybe 2 years ago. There was like a small child that like went missing, and they found them dead in like 6 feet of snow. Like this baby like went into the snow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like not found for a few weeks.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was maybe two or 3 years ago.
You say that way too nonchalantly. It's like, oh, fucking baby.
I don't know.
Woke up
like
dead.
I thought that was like around here. I thought that was like a story like everyone knew about at the time. Like, cause this like toddler, it was like maybe a 2-year-old was missing for like 2 or 3 days, and then like someone like whatever, I don't remember if it was a search crew or like what happened, but they like found the child after a few days, and it was like, oh,
That's fucked up.
dead baby.
Shit happens.
I'm not even gonna make a dead baby joke.
Shit happens joke right there.
That is a shit happens joke. So this is my first attempt at a conversational podcast.
Cool.
You are my first guest.
And not the best first guest, I might add, because I am not the best at conversation. Although this has gone pretty smoothly up to this point. I'm quite surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Man,
you know?
I'm just fucking good.
Hey,
you just have to admit
it's all on you.
I'm fucking good. So you posted something today.
Oh my
that
god!
I want to bring up.
Fuck me.
Because a lot of people are liking your or well, I don't know. Last I saw, there was a few people that very different people that liked it, and I think that people have no idea why you posted it because you didn't make it clear.
Yes.
What? And I know
kind
for
of
a fact
intentionally.
there are 2 people who have listened to this podcast before who liked it, who have reached out to me and are both very different and would have very different opinions on that story. So basically a photo was published, and so we have a few different listeners, mostly actually are international. So I'll explain this in a little bit more detail. But we had a photo published of all of the premiers of Canada, which they run the provinces here. So they are the elected officials that are in charge of each province. In the U.S., it would be similar to a senator. So a photo was put out of...
A senator's not appointed?
No.
Oh.
No. Senate in Canada is appointed. In the U.S., a senator
sorry,
is
mixing
an
up.
elected
Anyways,
position.
sorry. I'll stop talking.
So there was this picture put out of all of the premiers of Canada, and all of them are old white men.
Of course.
And people lost their fucking mind when the photo came out. As if they just, honestly, they just realized right now, which goes to show you how involved people actually are in our politics, that, these guys, none of them were elected quite recently. The most recent election was last fall. So this isn't new. And there are no women and no people of color right now who are in charge of any of our provinces. But you made a post talking about essentially how funny the comments are.
It was so stupid. Like, honestly, I'll read a couple of them here. So basically it's just a post saying that Canadians are angry that all the premiers are white men.
Who posted though? What was the company?
Oh, it's just Narcity.
Right?
Yeah, so they have like a bunch of their stuff isn't typically political.
They're very left wing.
But I don't know. I don't know. Their Instagram anyways is basically like 99% just like cool places to visit in Ontario and Canada. So I'm just like, I follow them because I look at the places. I'm like, oh, cool, that's a place to go, and I put it on my to-do list. But anyways, so they posted
How many
this
of those
picture.
have you done?
Not yet, but I just recently started, so they're like my summer plans. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah.
It's mid-July.
Yeah, you know what? I'm working on it.
So what happened?
Nothing. So like you see these people like commenting like white men's club, no color people either. How about the lack of diversity? No people of color or First Nations people. Cringe. Like all these people posting, and it's like, you guys are idiots. Like, do you realize that like these are not appointed people?
No, they're elected.
You voted for them.
Yeah,
like,
you
shut
put them
up.
there.
You're an idiot. And if you didn't vote for him, even more reason to shut up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
if you're going to complain that there's no women, which there have been, not that long. Like,
there were
what,
three
of them,
most
right?
recently. Yeah, Canada, Alberta, and Quebec.
Canada.
Canada. Fuck. Ontario. But
Ontario.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. But I mean, like...
And she was a lesbian. She was an old lesbian woman. It's like you literally had a gay... I guess I have to say gay, don't I? A gay woman running Ontario.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think lesbian...
It's LGBTQ+.
I know, but I think when you say, like, she's a lesbian, it's, like...
Offensive?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm not
know.
a lesbian, so I couldn't tell you. Anyways, and listeners would know that I'm not really worried about offending people. But you have a girl who likes women, a woman, I should say, who likes women, and then... two other chicks who I'm pretty sure were straight running. I think it was Alberta and Quebec.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
And it's just like,
and two of them were just recently switched over.
Yeah,
the most recent
out
election.
West and Ontario both were recently changed. Quebec was a few years ago. But it's like, okay, Kathleen Wynne from Ontario, who I would know the most about because that's where I live, she got voted out because she fucked up. Mm-hmm. And guess what? There were no women on the conservative side who are prominent in that party. There just aren't. Sorry, I don't know why that offends you. If that offends you, fucking go run.
Yeah,
What
or
are you
like
doing
encourage
sitting on
like your
ass?
female politician friends to like run. Like it's like get into it. You know what
My
I mean?
biggest problem, though, okay,
Like, chill out.
is the fact that people would rather vote for you because of your vagina than what you actually have to say about politics and the world. Mm-hmm. Because like. There are so many, even with Hillary Clinton in the U.S., there were so many people publicly, like TV interviews, where they were like, no, it would be better to have a woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
How would that be better to have a woman? What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, as a guy, then should I be like, I would rather have a guy there for guy things? I want the fucking urinal to stay, so I'm not gonna vote for a woman.
Yeah,
because that's what.
Well,
like,
but that's different. But that's different, right? Because if you're saying like I want the urinal to stay because that's a policy that one of the men was presenting, then that would be a totally different story. It's like, yes, I will vote for the men because all of the men have this policy and the women don't. That's different. That's saying like I'm going to vote on you because I agree with what your policy is.
But they argue that it's for women's rights.
I know, but that's ridiculous.
I know it is.
It's not like the women are advocating more for women, like the women politicians are advocating more for women's rights.
But
it's
they
like,
say that they are.
Really?
They honestly, like, not necessarily the politicians say what they need to say to win.
Yeah.
Ignore anything a politician ever says.
Pretty much.
Like, ever.
In a campaign, especially
in a campaign. But when you look at what the general population is saying and what people are saying in the media, it's like, well, we need a woman, that way women's rights will be managed properly. It's like, what right? In the Western world, okay, if this is the fucking Middle East, sure, you've got some rights you need to get, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. We celebrated fucking, I make fun of it, I have a joke about it, that, I think it was 2 years ago now, women can finally drive in fucking Dubai.
Yeah.
It's like, where it's fucking 2017, and there was like celebrations in New York City because women can drive, as if like we achieved some big fucking thing. But like, we're here in the West, there really aren't any rights. Like, and maybe that's the problem, is that people don't have anything to fight for. So then they pick these weird things to get angry about. There's no reason to be angry right now. There just isn't.
Not as far as like anything that's legislated anyways.
Not here. You can be mad about things around the world, foreign policy maybe, but like here, what? I guess you could be upset about taxes, but like no one gets fucking angry. If you get angry about taxes, you've got to figure some shit out, because like all of us have to fucking pay them.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's not like
they're gonna be paying.
It's not like it's just you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you think it is, then that's your problem. It's not just about you.
I don't know. You know what the best part of that picture was though?
What?
Over anything? Rob Ford Rob Ford.
Doug
Jesus.
Ford.
Rob
Ford's
Ford.
dead.
He's dead. Yes. Okay.
R.I.P.
Doug Ford.
Doing blow up in heaven.
Doug Ford is the only one of the group wearing jeans.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like-
his look, though.
I know it's funny because it's like
It is
business attire,
bizarre.
jeans.
Yeah.
Business.
No tie, right? And
No,
the
yeah,
shirt's
it's
kind of
just- he's
open
just
like
like,
an
yeah,
old
let's go.
Italian man, even though he's fucking not.
It's like, yeah, I'm too cool to wear a fucking full suit. It's like,
Yeah,
I'll wear my
he's a-
blazer. I'll wear my blazer and some jeans. Let's go.
What do you think about Doug Ford?
I don't really like pay enough attention to really know. As far as I can tell, based on the things I've seen, I don't feel like he's doing a terrible job. A lot of the stuff that people complain about when I
Yeah.
look into it a little bit, it's
Yeah.
like there's not really an issue here. Like people are just making a problem because he's Doug Ford. Like the education thing, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
say too much about it because I haven't read a lot into it, but
Yeah.
I've gone to I work in the education industry, and so like I've gone to a number of conferences that talk
But
a
you
lot
work
about
in mostly private education.
no. Well, yeah, post
Because
secondary,
you don't,
yeah.
you don't do elementary and secondary.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's-
that's not true. I do, but not as much.
okay.
But
okay.
so I've been to a couple of conferences that have been talking about like the cuts and stuff that he's been employing. But as far as I can tell, like it's not massive. The average class size is going up by like 4 students or something like that, which is not like
the
a big
provincial
deal.
Average is 4.
And most people that they needed like less teachers, so they're essentially out of a job. They're like just shuffling around, like they're not just saying like you don't work anymore. And as far as I can tell,
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but as far as I can tell, like that's sort of the extent of it. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't seem so bad. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or and then like the reform of like the sex ed or whatever. Like you look at the reforms they made, and it's like that seems pretty reasonable. Like I don't know, like.
So, for those of you who are unaware, the province controls our public education here. So there were some big cuts that were made to spending, and there's a lot of uproar about it, and mostly negative. Personally, I don't. It's tough. I don't know if I agree with the cuts he made, but I mean, he's a conservative, so like I wouldn't have made those cuts there. I would have cut other things. Like I think the fact that we have the OPP working in places where the municipalities aren't paying for them. I think that's a big problem. I think there are some larger municipalities that should have to pay for their own police force.
Yeah.
Because they probably can. That currently don't. There's a few things like that. But and also I think the OPP does too much on the highways because they control highways even in Toronto. So we're paying OPP officers to work only on the highways.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because municipal
Like traffic cops, just?
yeah, municipal cops aren't allowed to ticket on a major series highway.
Really? Eh?
Yeah, you have to be OPP.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so even here,
I guess they're all the black and white cars. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
it's always OPP. A municipal cop
I
can
never
pull
thought
you
about that.
over, but they can't ticket you. They can be a witness to an offense.
Oh
but
really?
They can't actually ticket you. Yeah, they're not allowed to.
So what would happen if they pulled you over? Would they wait for somebody, or would they just be like warning?
Well, it's complicated. So they're allowed to pull you over, but they can't hold you because you're not under arrest, right? It's for a fine. So technically you could leave when you find out that they're not OPP, and then the OPP have to go to your house, which of fucking course they're going to.
Yeah.
But they actually don't have the authority to pull someone over for a traffic offense. But like if it's anything beyond a traffic offense, like a DUI,
Yeah.
I believe they could give to you.
Oh okay.
And
So just specifically like traffic offense.
Yeah, just
Would that
like
not be like a
speeding
traffic
and
offense still?
A DUI?
Is it criminal?
Yeah, it's criminal.
Is it really?
Yeah, it
Oh, I
is.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a criminal offense.
That sucks. Even if it like doesn't result in any damages or anything, like you just got
Doesn't
pulled
matter.
over.
Yeah,
Really?
DUI is a criminal
Huh.
offense.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's demerits against your license, but and a fine to the Highway Traffic Act. But there's jail. Like you can go to jail the first time, right?
Huh.
Yeah, first time offense of a DUI you can go to jail for. It is a criminal
You know what I
offense.
just read in? I want to say Mississippi. I can't remember exactly. It's like
Yeah.
one of those states.
One of those states.
Like, you know what I mean?
Got it.
As long as your blood alcohol level doesn't exceed the legal limit, you can drive with like a beer.
Like in your hand?
Yeah. Like you can drink and drive as long as you're not exceeding the limit.
I mean, that's touchy.
I feel
I
like
don't know. I don't know about that.
Might be
like, I don't know
difficult.
what I think about
like
that.
might be difficult to police. Like
That's
like,
fucking hilarious.
what are we gonna do? Like pull over the guy because he's got a thing in his hand, but like so does everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? How does that work?
Yeah, that's pushing your luck though. Driving around with a beer in your hand.
Well, I mean, like at the same time, like
that's
if
like,
it's your
bitch, test
it's your
me.
first beer, like
Yeah, but that's like, bitch, fucking
I'm
test
on
me.
my way to work, so fucking.
I
Drink
can't
beer.
drink beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck. I probably wouldn't even test. I wouldn't blow over. I don't think. Well, I know that I wouldn't because I've used like homemade.
With-
well, not
for
homemade,
what?
but like
With
the
gin?
legitimate. No. So like I've like shotgunned Tall Boy
Yeah.
of like fucking whatever beer
Yeah.
and used like a breathalyzer,
Yeah.
like a personal breathalyzer
Yeah.
that someone had, and I didn't blow over.
Motherfucker, that doesn't
Even
work.
like an
You
hour
drink a
later.
beer, you're done.
Oh, I know, but that
There's-
doesn't.
There's
but,
no way
but my
you don't blow
BAC
over.
still isn't high enough.
I don't buy it. You're a little guy.
No, but it's not. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
I don't blow over.
I-
but I'm fucking drunk. I can't drink beer. But I can drink fucking 3 gins and still fucking ride my bike off into the sunset just fine.
Your bike.
Well, I didn't want to say car. And even a bike is, you can get a DUI on a bike.
I know. And
Which is fucking
they
what
just
are you
did the-
gonna do?
they just gave that
What
guy a
the fuck are
DUI
you
in the
gonna
canoe.
do?
Did you see that? But I mean, that's different because like he killed somebody. So like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think we're so over policed. And this is where you could fucking save some money. Like, our waterways. I think if you're driving a boat with a motor on it, fine. You can, like, you're fucking not allowed to drink, blah, blah, blah. Using a pedal boat, you can get a fucking DUI. A canoe, a kayak.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you going to do other than fucking drown yourself? And you can get drunk and jump into the river anyways.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
So, like, what are you talking about? How fast? Like, what are you going to do with a kayak?
Mm-hmm.
You can't run somebody over. I guess you could.
Yeah, but not really.
You know how hard that is?
Do you know how fucking strong you'd have to be to pedal that shit? Like
well, not
fast
even
enough
that,
to
but
do
you know how
anything?
easy it is to just swim away?
That's what I mean. Like, but I mean, pedal
Just
that thing,
go underwater.
pedal that thing like fast enough to like do any damage. First of all, and second of all, actually hit somebody. Like,
Yeah, you'll just
unless
be
they're
like
like not paying attention in any
And
way.
it's still
like,
illegal to fucking murder someone, like smack them
no,
in the head
yeah,
with a paddle.
Like,
Like, you
oh,
can't
just
do
fucking
that.
smoke that guy with a canoe. Like, that's not illegal. No, it is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we're so over policed that like there's other places you can cut money. He chose to do it in education. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can tell you that when I got to high school, there was 1,200 kids. When I left, there were 7.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
When we started grade 9, there were 1,200 kids at the school.
There were not 7 kids at the school.
700.
Oh, dude, you said 7, and I was like, there was no fucking way.
No.
True. I was like,
1,200 to
there was more than 7
700.
people that I knew. Never mind.
No, 1,200.
There was
down to
1,200 kids when we
700.
started. Really? I thought
Yeah.
there was only like. Really, I'm surprised there was even 700. It didn't seem
went
like that
down to
many.
700, and then the year after us, when my brother was there for his last year, I think it was just under 600, like 580 something.
Well, that's kind of silly.
But like,
That doesn't have anything to do with cuts.
but of course it does, because you're paying all those teachers' salary to stay. We never saw teachers leave.
No,
The whole
it
time
doesn't
we
have
were
anything to do
there.
with cuts. It has to do with people not having babies.
Oh, I agree with that, but I'm saying it results in cuts.
Oh no, for sure. But
Like,
that makes sense,
there
right?
were
Like
no
obviously.
fucking kids to
Like-
teach, and I mean it was Catholic school too. Maybe there's a decline
Yeah.
in enrollment in Catholic high school,
Sure.
which is possible, and I'm sure. Actually, I am certain that there is.
But yeah,
But
I
that's
don't know.
like you need to make cuts somewhere, and it's kind of like our high school, half of it or a quarter of it got converted to the school board. Because they had all of these rooms that no one was using. Think about it. When we started, every fucking room was
Yeah,
full.
we had those portables
And
too.
portables
Yeah,
were full.
there was like 6 portables.
When we left,
too,
there was
yeah.
a whole hallway. After the office, there was like 9 or 10 classes around that hallway.
Yeah, I remember.
Like where I almost said his name. The philosophy teacher's
Dude, best fucking
class
teacher ever.
was. Oh, yeah, I know.
Seriously, like he's honestly like my favorite teacher.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what happened to him. He's
just
not
retired.
on Facebook. I looked him up.
Oh, do you mean like just in life?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't mean like I wonder if no. Like, I haven't heard anything about him. There's
Yeah.
a few teachers I have, but him I
yeah.
haven't.
Who knows?
What teacher had the greatest impact on your life?
Him.
Really?
Yeah. And it's because
Wow, really?
It did. That class was super impactful, and it was just like because it.
So this was a grade 12 philosophy class.
Yeah.
And we were able to take this instead of religion. It
Yeah.
was the first year you didn't have to take religion.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I'm really glad I did. It just kind of like it taught me how to think about things like differently. You know what I mean? Like a big portion of the class was like, especially the way he taught it, like it wasn't necessarily in the curriculum, but like he made it like a personal goal to like ensure that by the end of the class, like you think about things like in a different like critical way that like I hadn't learned in like a formal setting before. You know what I mean? Like there was no classes that sort of like was like it's sort of like the idea of like questioning things and not taking things at face value and, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was obviously really impactful. Like if that's something that you weren't doing before and then you start doing that, obviously there's going to be a huge impact. And just the way he was able to sort of like explain things and put them in like real life scenarios and contexts. And like he played like pranks on us just to get us to think like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's just like his way of teaching and conveying that information was like super impactful.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny because I always looked at him as one of my favorite teachers, for sure. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I had different things happen to me before I got to that class.
Yeah.
Where I was already operating in the way that he was trying to get people to operate.
Yeah, for sure.
I did very well in that class.
No, I know, me too.
Very well in that class.
Me too.
But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites too. What was your? Don't give any names, but like, what was the worst teacher you ever had?
So that's a hard one because I had my fair share of not great teachers. There's definitely more shit teachers than there are good teachers,
for sure.
which is obviously like awful.
But is that like
So
I
true.
can tell you
Like,
fucking?
I know who you're
It's
talking about exactly right off
so-
the top of my head. I guarantee
I
it.
don't think so. You don't know her.
I think I never had her, but I know.
No, you don't know her.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't know her. Grade 4 and
I
grade 6.
was gonna say grade 4 teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you talk about her.
Yeah. Fucking slut. Yo, she fucked straight up. I'm saying this on a podcast. I'm not going to say her name, but there are totally people who don't really know this story. So, like, a lot of people know that I don't fucking like her, okay? She straight up started fucking at another school. She was the elementary school across from our high school. She used to teach there.
Okay.
She started fucking a dad she met at meet the teacher night.
Hey.
He went with his wife.
What's wrong? Oh, okay. I was gonna say what's wrong with
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but then
yeah.
you know you get to that bit.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She's a fucking slut. She's a bitch. She was rude as fuck. She told me I had the worst handwriting she's ever seen.
You do have pretty shit handwriting.
No. When you're fucking in grade 4, how old are you?
Okay.
9, and she said I have
She
the worst
recognized it.
handwriting
She recognized
she's
it.
ever seen.
She's like, this motherfucker's gonna have
No,
terrible
after that
handwriting.
I said,
let him
fuck
know.
you, I'm not working on my handwriting anymore. You can go to fucking hell. Look at all the computers. I said that. Look at all the fucking computers. What do I need to write for? And then I said something like I write like my dad's side of the family, and like no one can write very neat, and I know that. And she goes, well, yeah, I guess then your dad has the worst handwriting I've ever seen. She said that to a fucking 9-year-old. Bro, if I fucking ever saw, I know where she lives. Like, she lives literally fucking 4 minutes away. I see her driving all the time. Oh, I've seen her in the grocery store once. I got in the same line as her because I was hoping she would straight up with my brother, okay? And he had her too, and exact same. I had it a little bit worse with her than he did, but exact same fucking. We saw her, and he's like, "Is that fucking?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it is." She's fucking older, but just as fucking whorish looking, and fucking straight up. Whatever we were grabbing at the store. Get in line, and literally there's like one person in between us, and when we walked up, she like looks at us and fucking turns her head right away, didn't turn around once.
You guys are you're too angry. You need to just like find your happy place.
No, man, there's not much stuff I get angry about, but when you're a fucking asswipe
Dude, but how long has it
to
been?
a child, cuz man, I was fucking 9 years old.
Chill. People
Yo,
change.
man, she fucking threw chalk at Justin's head.
Well, he probably deserved it. Let's be real here.
She fucking went in my desk and stole all of my pencils that like my parents bought, all of my paper, and fucking I used to play with sticky tack in class, which I fucking bought. Well, my parents bought for me because like it was fucking sorry, I'm fucking smart. It was boring as shit in grade 4 when you're doing very well in school. So I would sit there and like play with sticky tack and fucking build shit with it like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And she went in my desk one day when I was fucking off sick, and literally she fucking stole all of my shit and put it in her desk. I came back to school. I had no pencils, no fucking pens, no markers. And I was like, where'd all my stuff go? And she literally goes, I don't know. Maybe you should ask some of the people sitting around you. Maybe someone borrowed it. So I turned and looked at very good friend of mine who you know, always rude to you. Lives up north now.
Yeah, I literally just saw her 2 days ago.
Okay.
She wasn't rude to me. I was like, hey. But we only saw
fucking-
each other for like 5 seconds, so didn't give her much of an opportunity.
She, I asked her because she sat like one or two people away from me. I don't remember. And she's like, no one heard her say that to me because I went up to her desk to ask her.
Yeah.
And she said like, no, she took it because she said that you weren't allowed to have it. That the office said you weren't allowed to have it. So she took it in front of everyone yesterday.
Why would you tell people to ask the people around you if they obviously saw you do that? Fucking
I don't know.
dumbass.
She's a dumb cunt.
Anyways, back to the question.
I don't want to talk about it
I don't know
anymore.
who the worst teacher was, but there was one very impactful moment that stood out to me from one of the teachers at the school.
In a bad way?
In a like you're retarded way.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No offense. So it was I think it was a religion class.
Why would I be offended by that? Are you
No,
calling
no.
me fucking retarded?
No, I'm just talking like anybody that, might be retarded that might get offended. I don't know. That used to be the appropriate term. Not sure what it is
It's
anymore.
not anymore.
Whatever.
I think we say, I don't know what we say.
I don't even know.
Mentally challenged? No, that's
knows?
definitely not
That's
it.
not even better.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know.
besides the point.
Yeah.
I think it was like a world religions class or something.
2019. I fucking hate it.
Don't know what to say anymore. So I think it was a world religions class, and we were doing some sort of, it was like a 3-group project, and we had to put on like a presentation about like somebody's culture or something, and like we had like North American natives. Okay, so we're like, hey, why don't we do like a powwow? That'd be sick.
Oh,
and so,
no.
okay.
What year is this?
I don't know. Grade 11? I
Yeah,
think?
world religion would have been.
So, yeah.
2011?
So we're like, oh, cool. We'll set up this powwow, which was hilarious because we had a ginger kid in the class and he was the fire, and that was his
Nice.
only role.
Nice.
So he just sat down. I was like going, it was great. Anyways,
Nice.
beside the point. I was one of the Native Americans, and I had a big drum that I had.
You probably had some of the darkest skin there.
Probably, yeah. And so,
It's a very white.
and so
swole.
like, I was like, dancing around the fire, and we were doing like a powwow, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, right? Like
Sure.
reenacting a powwow.
Sure.
And the guy,
I'm so getting an
the
email
teacher
about
like
this.
pulls me aside, and he's like, that was incredibly offensive. And I was like, what was offensive? He's like, you were chanting in their language. Do you know the language? And I'm like, no, like I'm pretty sure they just like make noises. Like it's not a language. And he's like, no. He's like, you don't know what you were saying. What if you said something incredibly offensive
What if?
about those people?
What if?
He's like, you were being extremely disrespectful, and I got a failing grade on that assignment. And my write-up was damn good. And it's bullshit because I talked to some Native American people, and they don't fucking do a language there. They just make fucking noises.
Some do. There are some
Not
that
during
do.
those. Not during powwows.
No, there are some that are speaking a language.
I disagree with that statement.
Most are not.
With powwows, it's like you're feeling it.
Yeah,
And you're
most
like,
are
you're letting your soul sing.
channeling-
You're letting your soul
yes.
sing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like,
That's exactly what it is. It's channeling
go
your spirit.
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
that moment was like, you're an idiot. And he also went up to Renee and
Your
we were-
fiancé.
Yeah, when we were talking about
Not at the time. You weren't engaged. in high school.
no.
You're classier than that. You waited a year to knock her out.
Yeah, 2.
No.
One. Yeah, no, that's fair. No, two.
It was-
Two. It was my last year of college. 2. It was
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyways, besides the point. So he he was like, we were talking about like Maui, whatever
Like
the
in
fuck it is,
Hawaii?
like culture. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know how they do those like dances, the hakas?
Yeah.
So he was talking about the hakas, and he was like right in front of Renee, and he just looks at her and he's like, he does like this like fake haka thing like out of nowhere and yells, and is like, and those kind of faces would scare the demons away. And it scared the shit out of everybody. She's traumatized. She still talks about it to this day. It's great. I was there. I saw it all. Love it.
Fuck.
That
Some
guy-
teachers.
Man, same guy. Like he's like,
I know
is
who
that
you're
not
talking
offensive,
about.
my friend?
I know who
Like,
you're
come
talking
on.
about.
My native dance and soul singing was offensive, but your fucking fake haka is not? Come on. Get out of my face.
What do you think of cultural appropriation? Like the whole.
Don't even get me started. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, so because so this is the idea, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially it's like, if there is something that is like, for example, like something from black culture, like cornrows or like
Which
dreadlocks,
isn't originally from black culture. It's
regardless.
Nordic. But
So let's
yes.
say, okay, because like that's where it came from, no other culture can do that
As long as
and make a profit.
it's a minority, though.
It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
But that's the thing is, it
So,
only
like-
works for minority because they can wear jeans.
So like you're telling me like
Jeans are fucking white clothing.
like you're telling
Stop
me like
wearing jeans.
I go to Asia, I fall in love with the culture, and I really like these like kimonos. So like I buy myself a kimono, and now I
Don't
wear
buy
this.
a kimono.
And I'm just saying,
Okay, good.
hypothetically speaking, right? Buy
If
myself.
you showed up one day in a fucking, if you came in my door today with a kimono, I
Man,
would have said,
why
you
not?
home.
They're dope. Some of them are cool. Anyways, point is, if I like kimonos and now I buy one and I love it and I want to make these and I want to distribute them and like share this
You
culture
can
with
make
people.
money off it. You're fucking, you're a business.
And like
person.
what? That's not allowed because I'm not Japanese. It's like, what the fuck? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. I'm sorry.
There's some aspects of it that I'm like, okay, like,
I don't get any of them.
When you see,
Change my mind.
no, I'm not gonna change your mind.
Well, what aspects? Change my mind because I don't see any aspects that make sense to me. It's
like in film, when they're like, white people are playing like non-fiction roles that were it was like a black guy, and they cast the movie with a white guy to play like an actual black guy that existed and tell his
so you're
story.
so you don't agree with blackface is what you're telling me.
No, it's not even blackface though, man. Like fucking what's that? Fuck, what movie? There's like a really famous example of this. It's one of the Jesus movies. And it's all like English white, like fucking pasty white.
Man, who cares?
But like, man, if they cast Straight Outta Compton with fucking me, you, fucking some other white guys.
Yeah, people would look at it and go, this is fucking stupid. And ta-da, end of story.
And it wouldn't do very well.
yeah, who cares?
I know that, but that's the point. Is it's like there are certain aspects of it that are like, sure, like if you're telling Martin Luther King's story, don't hire fucking Johnny Depp to play it.
If you're the producer and you want to hire Johnny to play it, all the power to you.
No, I think people should be able to call it that bullshit.
Okay, so you're telling me like, okay, so Spider-Man in the original novels is like
Spider-Man's non.
Okay, I
Spider-Man
understand.
Is fictional,
Oh, I understand,
though.
but it's the same sort of premise, right? Like Spider-Man is like a white fictional character from comic books dating back to like however the fuck long old
No,
those
no,
are.
no.
So like
It's totally
so like
different.
in that case,
It's totally
like
different.
you
It's
shouldn't.
nuanced.
But come on.
I don't think they think it's nuanced, but it is. There is. That's the thing is.
But like you see people complaining about that too. It's like suck.
There is. I know that. Like, oh, I have a fantastic joke. I don't
Relax.
think I've told you. So you've heard about the Little Mermaid, right? Being black.
Yeah, you said something about that. I didn't.
I
I
just
only
have-
knew about it because you told me about
Yeah,
it.
like I have a fucking fantastic punchline that's like.
Oh
is
wait, no,
Ariel
you did tell
allowed
me.
To say the
No, yeah,
N-word now?
yeah. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't she?
Fuck,
That Ariel specifically.
That is
only.
so funny. Oh fuck. Anyways,
I have to hear the
it's
whole
gonna
joke
be-
because just as a punchline, it's like okay.
come on. Is Ariel allowed to say the N-word?
Why is that funny?
Because it's fucking hilarious.
It's just a question that the answer is like yeah. You know what I mean? Like
No, that's
what? Like it's not even controversial. It's like yeah, of course you can.
holy fuck. Anyways, that's literally what the whole joke is. Is like, okay, if she's allowed to say the N-word now, what if they write a script, like Disney writes a script, and it comes up like every third word,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the Little Mermaid remake and they bring a white girl in again, or like what happens to that white girl? Is she allowed to say the N-word?
No, of course not. She's not black.
But Ariel was black.
Okay, but this Ariel is not.
Ariel wasn't, but now she is. But then when she's not again.
Maybe you can you should tie in a Michael Jackson joke in there somewhere.
Oh, there's totally a Michael Jackson
There's
joke.
A Michael Jackson joke in there somewhere.
There
you know what I mean?
Of course there is. But anyways, it's it's one of those things with cultural appropriation that, I covered a story on one of my first podcasts, this podcast, about Meghan Mccain on The View, who's white girl from Arizona.
Okay.
Had her hair. To me, it looked like Little House on the Prairie braids, going around her head. Sure. Whatever. It was fucking...
It's hair.
It looked like hair to me.
No, chill.
Not even fucking corn... nothing that I had heard before and been oh yeah, fuck, you're in for some shit today. Nothing like that. Man, people lost their mind. She had... I've said the number in the podcast. It was something like 400,000 or 500,000 comments directed at her about how she was culturally appropriating a black hairstyle because this specific way to braid your hair was done in the fields to keep their hair out of their eyes.
Yeah. Maybe she likes how it looks. Shut up.
Oh, man.
My God.
Trust me.
Honestly. Viewers can't see me. I'm shaking my head. I can't stop. It's just ridiculous. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't... And where does it go from here?
And that might be my privilege talking, but...
Oh, fuck. I hate... Speaking as a straight white man, first of all, you're not
cisgendered.
A cisgendered straight white man? No, you're not fucking straight if you said that. You're a little fucking funny. You're a little dick in the head or in the mouth for that in that case. Straight up.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that statement.
Who the fuck starts off a conversation
okay, but that's a personality
type. A fucking moron. A fucking moron. That's what you are if you start a conversation like that.
Oh, I don't disagree with that statement.
I hate it. I fucking hate... I called a guy out at work once for it because he was I don't remember what the hell we were talking about, but he brought it up as a straight white guy, I don't know if I should have an opinion on that. And I'm like, fuck you. There's four of us here talking about it. What the fuck do you think? I'm not here to learn about...
I don't know if I should have an opinion. Everybody, you have an opinion. That's that's a right.
No, it literally is.
Have an opinion and speak it. That's literally one of the rights you have. So...
And if you're talking about fucking something to do with gay people and there's no gay people around, you don't have to wait for a gay guy or a gay woman to show up to fucking ask their opinion.
Oh, 100%. You can still have an opinion.
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I see people get so tied up in the whole political correctness type thing, and I do sometimes when I'm just not wanting to rub people the wrong way for whatever reason, and so in a professional in a professional environment, you know what I mean, not anymore, luckily.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a professional environment, you see all the time now emails. It's Paula so and so. Her /
No way.
Dude, all the time.
Fuck off.
Dude, email signatures. Paula something, her / she.
I haven't seen that.
Dude, I work with schools, right? Universities, colleges. All of them have it now. Yeah, her / she.
Yo,
she / her,
I was
actually.
a TA.
Unbelievable.
At the University of Ontario. Oh, fuck. I don't know what the school's called anymore. They changed the name.
Yeah, they're rebranding it.
Tech U.
Yeah, they're rebranding it right now.
Tech University.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
On Tech U. I only know the short form. So I was a TA at On Tech U. I've worked for 2 universities. Isn't that fucking fancy? And if they had asked me to put that in my fucking email signature, would not have fucking happened.
We definitely don't have to. You know what I mean?
How do you know?
There's no way they can. There's no way.
Oh, fuck. Come on. Of course there's a way. The shit at... Man, Toronto, the GTA, Greater Toronto Area, is the place. Jordan Peterson was at the University of Toronto. And then the bitch at Queen's who showed a video of Jordan Peterson talking.
Wilfrid Laurier.
Laurier, sorry. Which is a school in Kingston?
Yeah, out of Kitchener.
Kitchener, which is, an hour from U of T main campus?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
40 minutes, an hour?
Yeah,
Fuck, man. This is the area where it's almost like Portland. People are fucking loons here when it comes to that. The fucking... remember, it's still happening, I think, that butcher shop downtown in Toronto where they're fucking... They sell, actual game products, like venison and bison and shit. And every fucking day, I want to say morning, but whenever they're gonna open, he butchers whatever they're selling that day in the window. So like
in the window.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of risky.
But it's not fucking like slaughtering. It's
okay. It's just like cutting. Okay,
meat.
that's fair. Okay.
There's no guts.
I was thinking like fucking brings the lamb with the fucking like pop.
No, like that's not how you do it. It's a bolt to the head.
That's what I'm saying.
Slaughterhouses,
a bolt gun.
not
That's
that
what I'm
bad.
saying.
I've been to a slaughterhouse.
That's what I was doing. Pop. That's what I said. Pop, not pow.
Anyways,
that's the sound I imagine.
Actually, I saw it through
it's like
glass,
one of those cork guns.
so I don't know what it sounds like. It's compressed air. You just hear like. Tss.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyways, we're talking too much about this. Yeah, like he cuts the meats up and portions them, vacs them all in the window, and then puts them in his little fridge display. And the vegans that protest, man.
Oh, dude, I don't doubt it.
All the fucking
what do you
time.
expect though? Like, let's be
all
real
the fucking time. And he was actually on Rogan's podcast. They had told him that the only way they'll stop is if he puts their slogan in the window, which is something stupid like fucking, like, I don't know. It's fucking the corniest millennial fucking shit. It's like, grass and fucking lamb all feel the same or some shit. I don't remember. Or fucking lamb have feelings too. It's fucking stupid. Like,
it definitely wouldn't be like grass and lamb feel the same, because then that would say
I know
veganism is no good either.
It is
like,
no good.
Just drink water.
Have you seen? There's fucking studies coming out now about the amino acid effect on your body.
What's that?
With
regarding
not
what?
Eating meat.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
Man,
see that.
because there's like almost no proper supplement for it, and there's like people are actually like, especially athletes.
Yeah, but you can get like protein and stuff from a lot of.
Yeah, but not enough amino acids.
Oh, amino acids specifically.
Yeah, like if you're not eating fish is big in it, and meats, red meats.
Are you sure you can't find it in like any vegetable sources though?
You can, but it's not
easy.
It's not high enough quantities.
Do like a shitload of fucking lima beans.
There's a fucking whole thing now about how like there's no UFC fighters are vegan right now.
That's not true.
Yeah, there's
Nate
vegetarians. Not vegan.
Yeah, 100%.
No, because he's taking animal supplements for his amino acids.
No chance.
Look it up.
I literally can like bet almost my life on it.
Look it up, man.
I will.
Look it up.
Young Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah. Pull that up, young Matej.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, why not?
It's a copyright infringement.
It's Joe Rogan. He won't fucking do anything.
He's cool.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing about how much it slows your brain down by not having those amino acids in your body. No service?
Yeah, we're in a basement here, and I don't have your internet, so.
Well, yeah.
Either way.
I can write it down for you. Anyways.
Put it in the notes afterwards.
What it was there's the lack of amino acids in your brain slows it down. So like tennis players, there's a big study done on them where they returning a serve, especially, which is the fastest thing you have to do. Their brains are like actually slower by milliseconds when they're vegan compared to the same person eating a proper diet with meat.
And when you say the same person, like literally the same person?
Like literally the same
Like they go on a
person.
vegan diet and then they go on like a regular diet?
They were on a regular diet and then they
or
went on a
vice
vegan
versa.
diet.
Okay, cool.
And then they even did a test with regular people eating fucking shitty foods.
Yep.
Like fucking fast food, just like a normal person diet.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing where like their brains were able to react faster than a regular person. Basically, it was something like going vegan gives you 6 months of really strong benefits because your blood sugars rise and fall as you eat throughout the day when you're eating high sugar foods.
Yeah.
Right? Cause your blood sugar to spike and drop. That's why you fall asleep.
But that wouldn't be like vegan. Like what's high sugar
when
in
you're
vegan? Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, when you're vegan, you have this sustained level of blood sugar essentially because you don't have big spikes and drops when you eat.
Sure.
Because there's no high levels.
But that's
of
not
sugar
true
in a
because
vegan
like
diet.
why not? Why can't you like pasta? There's loads of carbs and sugar in pasta. Like that would give you those spikes and stuff.
Right, but that's not clean vegan.
Okay, but that vegan just has to do with meat products, does it not?
And any byproducts and stuff. You could eat
like,
pasta on a vegan diet. That's true.
But I'm sure you can eat a lot of shit like Joe Louis. You could probably fucking eat on a vegan diet.
No, because there's gelatin in it. There's gelatin in them.
What about like donuts?
There's gelatin in most products like that.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't vegan.
So you're talking like clean eating, no meat products. That's what you're saying.
Like a proper vegan diet where you're not supplementing like gelatin, even like a lot of different types of sugar and stuff are separated with animal byproducts.
Yeah.
Basically, the spikes they get from their meals are significantly lower than someone who's not eating a vegan diet.
But imagine you get something similar like on like a keto diet, because there's
For sure you
very
would.
low sugar content in like a keto diet.
For sure you would, but the point is, on a vegan diet, after 6 months, there's actually a decrease in brain processing.
Oh, okay.
And on keto, you don't have that. Carnivore, you don't have that.
Oh, I feel like carnivore's not healthy anyways, dude. That's
I know,
fucked.
I know.
Dude, like I
so
can't.
many people are doing.
Dude, I can't wait to
Peterson
see
made it
those
super
those
popular.
long-term studies on that. Is gonna be awful. Like people are gonna.
I couldn't
be
do
like,
it. Could you do
dude,
it?
you would like fucking die.
Could you do it?
No, there's no chance. Like what the fuck?
Think of your stomach.
Dude, you know how like unhealthy you would like? I know for a fact I would feel like shit. Like me,
You know how long it would take you to shit every day?
dude, it would be impossible.
Holy fuck.
You must be like, are these people doing it without supplementation? Like, how do
no,
they?
No.
Like, do you
Well,
have
okay.
to? I would imagine you have to have some sort of like fucking
Jordan
rigorous supplemental
Peterson's
diet.
the only person doing it who I've actually heard.
But he has an actual
talk about
problem,
it.
right? Like he has some
I
sort of like
forget that-
Crohn's or something.
It's not Crohn's, but I forget what he has. But yeah,
Some sort of autoimmune disorder,
yeah,
anyways.
he has an actual disorder that he
Yeah.
decided to try this.
And it's been helping, yeah.
But my point is that he's the only one I can talk about that I've heard
Yeah.
who's doing it and has talked about it.
Ridiculous, seems like to me, anyways.
But he's also like, he's a clinical psychiatrist or physician, whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
you want to call him. And he's not gonna openly talk about how hard it is for him to take a fucking shit every
Oh,
day.
yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like when once I heard him talk about it, I think he had posted on Twitter that he was thinking about it, and I was like, oh no.
No, don't do that.
And then, sure enough, he did a big launch and told everyone he's gonna do it, and he's feeling good. Whatever, man, you're feeling good. Like,
you know.
I mean, I work for a meat company. If everyone decided to eat a lot of fucking meat starting tomorrow, I get profit sharing. Okay? Straight up. At the end of the
Good for you.
year, I will make some good fucking money. Go out to the Keg Steakhouse and Bar anywhere in Canada or in Texas and eat the ribs in Texas because we make those.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not. I shouldn't have said that, eh?
Why?
Because they're like Texas ribs.
Oh, I don't know.
But
Now
they're
they're gonna know who
cooked-
you work for
they're
too. If
cooked
people
in-
do some like
No,
reverse engineering.
No one will be able to figure
Reverse
it out.
engineering that shit. I'm
It's
sure
a-
you can find it.
It's unless you work for the Keg, you don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really matter though. I don't think.
I don't say where I work. I've talked to them about it, and I've talked to the owner, and I told him
and they're like,
that
no, you're
I'm
too
not
much of an
going to.
asshole. To
Well, no,
fucking
because
say
like
our
when you
shit.
say the word fucking, when you say fucking cunt and shit like that on a podcast, and you're like, oh yeah, and I'm fucking one of the senior accountants at this company.
Yeah, I said
It's
my
like-
company when I gave my voicemail
I know.
example.
I'm gonna blank it out. I already know. Yeah. Anyways, that's the thing. I want to talk to you about fighting though. Before
Okay.
we go,
Sure. What about it?
why do you do it?
I don't
You're
know.
an amateur fighter. So how? First of all, I was thinking about this last night because I was like, when Matej's 80,
Ow.
is he still going to be an amateur fighter? How do you stop being an amateur fighter?
You take a pro fight.
I know, but until you do,
You are an AMI fighter.
so you're.
Well,
you're,
I don't know because
You know what I
technically-
mean?
Well, you have to like renew like
you have to go to the doctor. And
but no, you have to like renew like a membership and stuff with
do you
like
have to pay for it.
yeah, it's like $20 for like a year or something. So I guess technically, if you're not paying for it anymore, you're not technically an amateur fighter.
When does yours expire?
Whenever the fuck I got it like a month before my fight, so I don't even remember what month that was.
March.
February?
March? I think it was
No,
March.
no, it wasn't. It was
Or
April. April 6th.
Yeah, April.
April 6th. So yeah.
So you got it in like February, March.
Yeah,
And then you
so
fought in
like
April.
March
Because you were
next year.
supposed to fight in the beginning of March, like the second week of March.
Yeah.
And it got moved.
Yeah.
But yeah, why do you like getting punched in the? Because like, for me, like I've talked to you about this before. Where like I can understand jujitsu.
Yeah.
And wrestling and shit like that. I'm like, okay, I get it. Wrestling, I'm too small to do. Jiu-jitsu, I would fucking enjoy. But
Well, you can just wrestle with the kids. Like
no, but that's why I don't want to fucking even jiu-jitsu. I know all my partners are going to be like 16, 17-year-olds.
bro, like I did a
And,
couple
like-
jiu-jitsu classes and they screwed me over, so
Well, yeah, they'll put you with bigger people to fucking
dude, not even like the
Get
little
strangled.
kids just fuck you up.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they're just so much better. It's like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm stronger than you, but like at the same time, like you know
It
what you're
doesn't
doing.
matter.
It doesn't
man.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's sick.
Strength only matters when you're
Strikes are
equal
involved.
in like equal skill.
Yeah,
Then strength will play a component.
for sure.
But like, fuck, until then, it doesn't fucking matter.
No, I don't know. Answer your question. it's fun. Like, you know, I think more than anything, it's like a
So you're an amateur Muay Thai fighter.
Yes.
Muay Thai kickboxing.
Exactly. So I'm extremely competitive in nature. So like
Okay.
we have these new tests at work, and it's like an emotional test. And
We're doing same shit.
oh yeah,
Well, I don't know if it's the same
I'm
shit.
gonna hook you guys up because we just started selling it, and we can get you guys good pricing and stuff
It's
on it
his.
too. Nah. Anyways,
I don't know. Attractive blonde girl.
sure.
That does it. That's friends with the family that
Fair
owns
enough.
the company.
Anyways,
I don't know who
so
she is to him, but-
the scale is 1 to 9, and
Okay.
obviously you want to be like fairly central on most aspects. And on
fuck
competitiveness,
that. I want 9s.
no, and on competitiveness, I'm a 9. Like I'm literally as competitive as you get, and that's not healthy.
Do you have like a test that I can do? I want to see what I am.
I
Come
can see if I can get you one.
Come on.
I can try.
You can hook me up for the podcast.
Yeah, I'll probably try.
I'll throw an ad in there.
Okay.
You guys can be my first ad.
Okay, deal. I'll look into it. Anyways, so I'm like ultra competitive, which is not
Actually,
good.
that wouldn't make sense. No one listening to this
Yeah.
is fucking buying school software.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you never know. Anyways, yeah, so super competitive, and I just sort of see it as like, so when I'm training,
Yeah.
it's like not enough because, you know, like I can train with people and like I get my ass kicked some days and some days I kick ass, and then, you know what I mean? Like it's like a back and forth, but it's like you never really, you train with the same people like all the time. Like
Yeah.
you have your same like 5, 6, 7 training partners. And so it gets to a point where it's like, okay, but like how good am I
Outside
actually?
of here.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I only know my skills in comparison to these people who are getting better at the same rate I am. So it's like, okay, like where do I actually stack up
Yeah.
with everybody in the world? You know what I mean? Like, so, which is not even a fair like sort of thing because really it's everybody that does this specific sport in your specific area. So never mind. But
Well,
besides the point.
I don't know because it is provincial.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like I don't even know. Like, I don't know where I would stack up against like an average Joe, even like because you don't go in and you like fight an average Joe. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you don't never really know.
Well,
like,
I would assume that you would kick the average.
you would
Joe's
think,
ass.
you
What
would
do you
think,
mean?
but like you never know.
if
like, you know what I
someone's
mean?
not fighting,
That's what I'm saying, like, you
how would
never
they
know.
Be a better fighter
Wow.
than someone who is.
Man, because shit happens. Like you seen like Ben Askren get fucking flying kneed in the face. Like,
yeah, but Ben Askren.
but here's the thing, like it's not because
that's a professional fighter
understand.
who need him in the
No,
face.
I know,
Like,
but-
it's not me.
No.
It was like he's gonna shoot for a double leg, Jacob. Throw the fucking
No,
flying knee.
but my
Like,
point is this.
Sure, I'll do that, coach.
I understand though, but my point
I would
is
have been
this.
fucking taken down and fucking choked the fuck out in 15. It would have been the fastest tap out in
Okay,
history.
but my point is this: because it ended in that way, it's not necessarily indicative that Masvidal is like significantly better than Ben Askren.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I
because
agree.
like
I
you didn't
agree.
see the fight play out, so like what happens if he didn't land that and now the rest of the fight happens?
That's
like
what GSP talks
you know what I
about.
mean?
all
Like,
the
you never
time.
know.
The champion isn't the best in the world. He was the best that day.
that day.
That's
So
what-
like,
that's
but my
what
point
GSP
is like
says.
shit happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like Ben Askren could be like a much better fighter than Masvidal, and he just landed something lucky, and you know maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
So my point is like you don't really know where you stack up. But point is, the reason I like it is because it's that sort of like that. It's essentially like the most purest form of competition that you can have. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all sports is sort of like a metaphor for fighting. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
it's one team trying to impose their will on the other team, but there's no like severe consequences. At the end of the day, you go home and you know you have a meal and like you go again tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like with fighting, it's like
you don't
wha-
eat for a week.
you
at a
know,
time.
it's like one person trying to impose their will on another person. So like there's no team aspect. So it's like purely you. You know what I mean? Like
one-on-one.
you are the master of your own fate, essentially,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like there are dire consequences. Like you can get knocked out, you can get a leg broken, you can fucking die. Like it's possible, like
Yeah.
unlikely, but you know,
It
it's like it's there,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like the like adrenaline and the mental like fucking challenge that you get is crazy. And like I'm in like during the fight, you know what I mean? Like you're in like the second round and you're already fucking getting tired. And so like you get these like doubts start creeping in and you're like, shit, this motherfucker won't stop coming at me.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting so fucking tired. Like I don't even know if I can make it another round. Never mind like to the end of the fight. Like, you know, and so you start to like panic a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's like a test because then you have to like go back in and go like, shut the fuck up. Don't be a pussy. Like, you know, like you can do this. You've been training for so long and blah, blah, blah. So like you're having this like internal battle as well as you're having this like external battle, and you can't slow down because you slow down, you get punched in the face. And like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's just this whole like aspect to it that's outside of like just a competition where you're trying to punch somebody and they're trying to punch you. Like there's just so much more going on.
Yeah.
And like that sort of like test, and I like to win, and then I didn't win, so like I want to do it again. And so like you know what I mean? It's like motherfucker.
Yeah, but if you
like,
won, it wouldn't have been any different.
No, it's like
then you would have been.
It's like all right, I'm a motherfucker. Let's go again. But like you know what I mean? So like I lost, and like I hate losing like more than anything in the world. Like I hate losing so much. And so like I think of, like I look in the mirror and I'm like, fucking piece of shit. What are you doing? Like every day I wake up and I'm like, God damn it. Like you should have been able to beat that guy. And so like it's like motivation. Like I go to the gym and I'm working out and like I'm doing these new like strength and conditioning exercises so I don't get tired, because like one of my problems was I got tired and I don't want that to happen again, and I want to compete again. So, you know, It's just this whole like idea of competition and the spirit of it that I really enjoy. And more than anything, like one thing I've always struggled with is like I don't really like confrontation, which is funny.
So don't.
No, yeah. And I always sort of like back down, like in confrontational situations. Like I sort of like get like, I don't know, like almost submissive, where it's like I just don't want to deal with it. So like you know, you're yelling at me, cool, fucking yell at me, like have a good day, you know. And so I sort of use fighting as like a exercise to like strengthen that part of my mind, right? So it's like I'm trying to use it to become more comfortable in the uncomfortable, like, you know what I mean? Because I don't like feeling uncomfortable, and even like I know it's gonna happen either way. Like at any point in time, like if you don't like confrontation, you're not gonna like it, but you'll be able to deal with it better, like in those situations. And that's like definitely one big factor as to why I enjoy doing this, because like it makes me uncomfortable as fuck, and I do it anyways. And at the end of the day, I kind of look at myself and I'm like, you know what, you know, you're doing good, like good job, a little pat on the back, feel good, that sort of thing.
Would you let your kids do it?
Yes, with a little caveat, they wouldn't start in striking arts. Like I would be like, no striking until like you're like 20. You know what I mean?
Until you're 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can go in and like there's a Kempenfeld Bay Wrestling Club. They like sent like the last like 4 years, they've sent like 3 teams to the Olympics for the Canadian wrestling. And like
your kids are going to be way too small to wrestle.
So it's like a legit thing. Dude, there's weight classes. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but
what do you mean too small?
You still have to be like a fucking no one at 125.
Henry Cejudo. He gold medal wrestling at like 20, 19, whatever.
What did he fight at?
I think he wrestled at 25 or 35. It's like there's lots of weight classes.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point is,
no money in it
I'm gonna say like no. That's like the starting bit. Like good foundation wrestling, you're good to go. So like, but like they can do wrestling and jiu-jitsu to their heart's content.
Would you not prefer them to learn jiu-jitsu over wrestling though?
No, I would do both, because there's like different benefits. Like wrestling, you control where the fight is. So if you're a better striker or you're better at jiu-jitsu,
but jiu-jitsu, you're not worried about where the fight is.
No, you are, because if somebody is better at striking than you are, and you can't take them down because you don't have wrestling.
I'm not talking about a competitive fight. I'm talking about self-defense.
No, me too. Let's say you're really good at jiu-jitsu, and I'm really good at striking, and I have really good wrestling. You want the fight on the ground, so you're going to try to take me down. If I have really good wrestling, I'm not going down. I'm going to punch you in the face until I'm done.
Okay.
Right? So wrestling is sort of like the middle, because it dictates like where the fight's going to happen. Right? So like I think
it doesn't get you.
Well, like you look at like Damian Maia, right? Like
he has
sure
no
does.
wrestling.
Yeah, no wrestling.
Yeah.
And so he's really good at jiu-jitsu, but like what happens when he faces wrestlers that are really good? Colby Covington couldn't take him down, got beat up.
How many guys have we seen finish off his back?
Yeah, but that's the point. Like people, if you have good wrestling, you just don't go down with him.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know what I mean? Like,
but he chokes you out on your fucking back standing up.
Yeah, but not really. But that's my point. Like Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley, all really good wrestlers. He got fucked up by all of them because he couldn't take them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you can take somebody down and you're really good at jiu-jitsu, you're good. But if they have really good wrestling, that's why I think it's important to have like, because you can choose where it is. If you're a better striker, let's say like now we're both like well-rounded.
Yeah.
If we're in a fight and you're like better at striking than me, but I'm better at jiu-jitsu than you, and I have good wrestling, I can take you down now, and like we play in my realm. Right. Whereas like if our striking is going really well and you maybe want to try to take it down, if I have good wrestling, I say no. I like this where it is, you know, and keep it standing.
Can't get you down, stay on your feet.
Exactly. So it's sort of like that middle, like I think it's like really important actually. I think that's like probably the base of a good MMA game, because it's sort of like
wrestling?
Because you can choose like where everything
what you're
goes.
Gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's
Otherwise,
the most inspiring person in the world?
In like combat sports?
No.
Or just like
In general.
inspiring person?
Yeah.
Fuck me, that's a loaded question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the only question I
Inspiring?
came prepared to ask.
Jesus
to be honest
Christ.
with
Who is the most inspiring person? I don't know. I'm weird in that no one person specifically inspires me to do anything. Like, for example, with regards to like music, if I see like a live performance, doesn't matter who it is. Can be literally anybody. Even if it's on TV, I see live performance and it get like super amped to go and like play something.
you. Yeah. I'm like that too.
So it
It's
doesn't
really
matter.
bad,
Like, it doesn't
actually.
matter who it is. It's like if I see it happening, I get amped. Like, I watch MMA, and like I watch like a whole night of UFC fights, and there's no like one UFC fighter that like gets me like amped to do it. But like watching this whole event and watching people perform at like high levels is like gets me like revved up and going. So it's not like any one person that gets me going. It's like
Yeah.
specifically like just watching people do their thing, and it's
Yeah.
like I could do that.
All right. I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, thank you.
We've got a music thing we're working on. I started editing it.
Sweet.
Coming out probably next month.
Okay.
We have to record a few more.
Yeah, we have to do a few more.
We have to get on that.
Mhm.
We've been slacking. It was supposed to be a one out already.
Yeah.
Actually, this week I think is what I talked
Yeah, I
about.
don't know.
That's-
But we
well, it's
definitely
so
want to
not
make
happening
we
this
definitely want to
week.
make sure that it ends up working nice first, though, before we spend like a bunch of time. Like if it ends up being shit, and
No,
it's like,
I know. I
then,
want
you
to
know,
hear it. I want to hear what it's
hear
gonna
and see
sound
it.
like.
Because if it ends up being shit, like
Yeah, we're trying something very different, giving ourselves an hour to record a song in its entirety and mix it. And yeah, but we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I think I'm going to cut this off here. I would say that you're going to be back for sure, but it totally depends on how many viewers you bring in for me. Thank you very much, Matej.
thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Adios.
Go get your kids.
Will do. Bye bye.
Have fun. Bye. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Don't forget to come back next Tuesday for some brand new content. Let me know what you thought about the conversation we had today. And of course, as always, take the things we said out into the real world, drive some conversation. Don't forget to keep laughing, keep learning. I love you as always. See you next week. Bye.